You know that feeling? When you finally check your portfolio and you're deep in the green, it's an incredible rush. But I need to tell you, for a ton of crypto folks out there, that feeling is about to turn into a knot in their stomach because they're about to get a really, really expensive letter in the mail. See, the thing is, the IRS, they're not in the dark anymore. That whole infrastructure bill thing a few years back, it was a game changer. They're now getting data from every major exchange. They know who's trading, and they have a pretty good idea of who owes what. And I didn't know is not going to cut it. This isn't about market hype anymore. This is about crossing your T's and dotting your I's. So for the next half hour, we're going to tackle what might be the most boring, but honestly the most important topic in crypto: taxes. Let's turn this scary thing into something you can actually manage. Section 1. The Golden Rule. It's property, not cash. All right, let's get the biggest, most important concept out of the way first. The IRS does not look at your Bitcoin and see dollars. Nope, they look at it and see property, like a stock, or honestly more like a collectible, like a rare baseball card. And that one distinction changes everything. It means that practically every time you use your crypto, it's a potential tax event. You're triggering what's called a capital gain or loss. Let's run through the most common ways people accidentally create a tax bill for themselves. Trading crypto for another crypto. This is the big one everyone misses. Swapping your Ethereum for some Solana on Uniswap? Yeah, that's taxable. Using Bitcoin to buy a cool NFT? Also taxable. The IRS sees that as you selling your first crypto to buy the new thing. You have to calculate the gain or loss on that sale. Selling for real money. Okay, this one's obvious. Cashing out to real dollars in your bank account. Earning crypto. This is a big category. Staking rewards, random airdrops that show up in your wallet, yield from DeFi protocols, even coins from a hard fork. The IRS treats this like income. On the day you get it, you have to record its value in dollars and pay income tax on that amount. It's like getting a bonus paid in crypto. The only thing that's not a taxable event is buying crypto with your own cash and then just holding it, letting it sit in your wallet. That's it. Literally everything else is a conversation with the IRS. Section 2. How this actually works. The math. This sounds like a nightmare, right? But the actual math itself is pretty simple. It's just what it was worth when you sold it minus what you paid for it equals your gain or loss. What it was worth, the fair market value in USD at the very moment you made the trade. What you paid, your cost basis, what you originally bought it for plus any fees. The absolute hardest part, the part that makes people want to pull their hair out, is tracking all of this. When you've made hundreds of trades across 5 different exchanges and a few private wallets, figuring out what you paid for that specific chunk of Ethereum you swapped 6 months ago is a monster. The IRS lets you use a few different methods to calculate this. For most people just starting out, I always recommend FIFO, first in, first out. It means the first coin you ever bought is the first one you're considered to have sold. It's the simplest and least likely to get you in trouble. Let me try to explain with a super simple example. Don't worry, I'll go slow. Let's say you buy 1 ETH for $1,500 back in January. Then the price goes up and you buy another ETH for $4,000 in March. Now in November, the price is up again and you sell 1 ETH for $4,500. Using FIFO, you're selling that first ETH you bought, the one with a cost basis of $1,500. So your gain is $4,500 sale price minus $1,500, what you paid, equals $3,000 profit. You will pay capital gains tax on that $3,000. Now imagine your transaction history doesn't have 3 lines, it has 300 lines. You see why this gets messy fast. Section 3. Your lifeline, tools, and smart moves. All right, here's the good news. You are not expected to be a math wizard or a tax attorney. Your number one most important job here is to use the right tools. Software like Coinly, CoinTracker, or TokenTax are absolute lifesavers. You basically give them read-only access to your exchange accounts and your public wallet addresses, and they go to work. They pull in every single transaction, figure out your cost basis using FIFO or another method you choose, and, this is the best part, they spit out the actual tax forms you need. They'll generate your Form 8949 and Schedule D, which is what you file with your personal tax return. So here's your simple crypto tax checklist for every year. Form 1040. There's a question right on the front page now. Did you at any time during tax year receive, sell, send, exchange, or otherwise acquire any financial interest in any digital asset? You have to check yes. Do not skip this. It's not worth the risk. Schedule 1. This is where you report that income from staking, airdrops, etc. It goes on line 8Z as other income. Form 8949, Schedule D. This is where all your capital gains and losses from the software go. One pro strategy to know about is tax loss harvesting. It sounds fancy, but it's simple. If you have some coins that are down, like you bought them and they're just sitting there at a loss, you can strategically sell them before the end of the year. That realizes the loss. You can then use that loss to cancel out other gains you had, which lowers your overall tax bill. It's a way to make a bad trade work for you. Section 4. The rules are changing. What's next? All right, let's look ahead because this space moves fast. A few things coming down the pipe. The broker rule. Remember that infrastructure bill? It's going to force centralized exchanges and maybe even some DeFi platforms to start issuing 999 forms to users and the IRS. Basically, your tax reporting is about to get a lot more automated and a lot harder to hide from. The SEC showdown. You've probably seen the headlines. The SEC is going after everyone, claiming most cryptos are securities. This creates a ton of uncertainty. For you and me, this is a really good argument for sticking with the blue chip assets we talked about in Lecture 3, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, which have a bit more clarity. Your state matters. Don't forget about your local laws. Places like Wyoming and Texas are super friendly. New York, not so much. They have their own strict rules. The bottom line is this. The Wild West days are closing up shop. Regulation is here. Getting your taxes right now isn't just about avoiding an audit. It's about building your wealth on a solid, legit foundation you don't have to worry about. Section 5. I messed up. The plan for falling behind. Okay, real talk. If you're watching this and your heart is sinking because you've, let's say, been optimistic with your taxes the last couple of years, please listen. The absolute worst thing you can do is nothing. Hoping they won't find you is not a strategy. They will. What you can do, voluntary disclosure. The IRS has programs that allow you to come forward and file amended returns for past years. Yes, you'll have to pay the back taxes and some interest, but you can usually avoid the huge penalties and, crucially, avoid criminal prosecution. It's about getting right with them. Hire a pro. If this is over your head, and for a lot of us it is, hire a crypto-savvy CPA. Seriously, the fee's tax deductible and the peace of mind is worth every single penny. They've seen it all. Look, getting this tax stuff right is the final non-negotiable part of the disciplined mindset we talked about last time. It's how you protect what you're building. This isn't about operating from a place of fear. It's about operating from a place of freedom. The freedom of knowing that what you've earned is truly, legitimately yours. And now that you know how to keep what you earn, don't you want to know how to make it work for you? It's time to put that vault to use. If this video saved you from a future headache, do me a favor and share it with a friend who needs to see it. Hit subscribe and that bell so you don't miss our dive into DeFi. I'll see you in the next one.
Disclaimer. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is not financial advice. Please do your own research and consult a licensed professional before making any investment decisions.